No, I was about to do an introduction like those my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You can still do that.
Welcome back to Jeffrey Benson's YouTube channel. It's JP in the building. Anyways, my name is Dapo Willis. For those of you guys who do not know, I'm a forex trader. I've been doing this for well over 11 years now.
Amazing.
Obviously, I have, I think, one of the biggest channels aside from Jeffrey's channel on YouTube when it comes to forex trading. So yeah, I'm here to answer your questions, and it's a pleasure to be able to be sat here with one of the legends in the forex industry.
Nice to meet you, man.
Jeffrey, thank you for swinging by my yard.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm going to be hanging out with you guys. Obviously, Jeffrey's going to be asking me some questions. So I'm at your disposal. Over to you.
Amazing. So thank you for giving us that super ride. And getting you was quite really not so hard, but it was enjoyable for some other people trying to make things really difficult. You understand? So yeah, that's. So thank you for that. I give it up to you for that. So the first question I want to ask you, how did you start trading? How did the idea of trading come? What did you first hear about trading? And how did you embrace it?
So, I mean, for most people, they'll tell you stuff like, I don't know, like they always have this fancy story. Mine wasn't that fancy. I was literally watching a movie, you know?
Okay.
I was watching a movie, this movie called Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, yeah? I was watching a movie and I saw the guy in the movie. He had a nice apartment in New York. His boss had just given him like a $1.4 million bonus check. You know, the guy was chilling. I'm like, so I watched the movie. I'm like, what does this guy do? And I found out that the guy was a stockbroker. And that was what actually led, when I actually came into the game, I actually didn't know the trade. I didn't know anything about forex.
Okay.
So it was stockbroking, and when I wanted to stop trading, I wanted to trade the stock market. But back then in Nigeria, so we're looking as far back as 2011, they were not opening stockbroking accounts for Nigerians.
But then you were in Nigeria?
Well, then I was in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I just finished high school. So, you know, I was like, oh, I really want to get into this game. And then one guy told me about forex.
Yeah.
Someone along there, like, why are you stressing yourself about trading the stock market when there's forex? It's low barrier to entry. Blah, blah, blah. Send me a link. And you know, forex brokers, they don't waste time. By the way, guys, if you're not to that broker of preference, Jeffrey's link is going to be down below.
Exactly.
Shout out to Michael and all the guys from Info.
Yeah.
But you know, brokers, they don't waste time. Once you fill the first form, your account is open. And that's exactly how I got into forex trading. That was how I heard about trading, and that's exactly how I started playing around with the game.
Wow, amazing. So like, how was the transition like from, you know, every forex trader always got stories to tell, playing off accounts, you know, this and that. How's the transition like from your starting point to where you started getting it now? At this stage, you can confidently say, okay, I can turn my $100 to $150 in so number of times. So when was that stage and how was it like?
So I think I have to break this question down into two. So first one, the first blown account. You see that first blown account is the most gut-wrenching thing.
Oh my God.
Because when you come into the game, like you think, you know, you can just stay in your room and make all this money.
Correct.
But unfortunately, that is not the case. And thank goodness to channels like your own that are actually preaching the truth. You know, it's not as straightforward as that. But
yeah,
anyways,
it's not.
My grandfather had left me about maybe 360,000 naira before he passed away. It was in shares. You know, Zenith Bank share, all those.
That's about $1,000
then. That was that was $2,000 then.
2,000.
That was 150.
150.
Until Buhari came in.
Wow, that's a lot of money then.
That was $2,000.
Wow.
But guy, guess what now? Obviously, I changed the money. I converted the money from shares to naira, changed it to dollars. Then I had one laptop that was dying. I revived the laptop.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need a laptop to trade, right?
Correct.
So obviously, I revived the laptop and I had like 1.5 left, and I deposited the 1.5 into my trading account, and then I was using an indicator-based strategy. I blew half of the money, and then I now switched to the NFP strategy. Gone, you know. So that, you know, I felt like I let my grandfather down. You can imagine, like, this meant so much to me. I let my grandfather down. I was down with money. It was a very depressing point. However, we're all here today.
Yeah.
We're living the life, the forex dream. So just because I've blown an account, I mean, you can see, you know, how things have panned out for me. So that was the very first blown account. Now, what was the transition point? I think it was when I discovered how to use a tool called Fibonacci.
Wow.
I think Fibonacci was the game changer for
Fib
me.
retracement.
Yeah.
And you use that today?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Fib retracements will never fail you as long as the market is trending. The market always pulls back into, I now named it after myself, the Willis zone. You probably heard.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So between the 50 and the 61.8.
Oh, okay.
That Fib retracement zone always works, right? So every time the market pulled back, it always bounced. So that was when finally I started to see some consistency.
How long is this? Like, how long will it take you to
like 3.5 years.
3.5 years, wow.
Yeah.
That,
3.5 years.
someone tell you. So, I get a lot of questions, Jeff. What if I come into forex trading in 2 weeks? Can I get this okay? And I'm like, 2 weeks? Like, this thing took me years.
It's not possible. It's not possible in 3 weeks.
It's not.
Except you have a very, very, very good educational platform that you can work from. Yes. That is as comprehensive as possible. Because let me tell you the phases of the average forex trader. So you come in with the excitement.
Correct.
That excitement phase lasts about 3 months.
And funny thing, you always make money while starting on your demo.
Oh yeah.
So that will woo you to fund your personal account and then.
So even that my initial 1.5 deposit, I took it to like 5K or something.
Wow.
But you don't understand.
You wouldn't withdraw the grip.
You're trading on like 1 minute time frame. You're just in and out. Like you're like, oh, this is going up by. This is coming down. No strategy whatsoever. And that's, I mean, they call it beginners.
Yeah.
Right? So when you come into, so the first 3 months is the excitement stage. And then after that, once you're done with the excitement, after you blow the first account, then you start looking for, education and knowledge and stuff like that. So, it takes a while. It does take a while. The reason why it took me longer and probably took you roughly about the same time is because, I mean, at the time we didn't have channels like the ones.
Nothing like that, yeah.
So all these seminars were being hosted by brokers. And brokers don't really care about if you're educated or not. They just want you to sign up, obviously, apart from
deposit,
which Jeffrey's link is down below.
Yeah,
Just
again,
click the link down below.
better click the link.
No, but it's serious, like, because the reason why we decided to partner with Infinix is because, we saw that they were actually embracing education. The only way Forex can move forward right now is education, because everybody is tired, of losing money. So anyways, there were no channels like that, the ones that you see here. So we had to rely on baby pips, we had to rely on forums, Forex factory forums, baby pip forums, indicator-based forums, people's just posting. Guys, I'm telling you, on my old computer, people think I'm lying when I say this. I had a computer like this, was very old. I had a file called indicators. I had 760 indicators. If you guys want them, I'll give them to you guys for free. I have 235 strategies. 235 strategies. I tried every single one of them. So you go from the excitement stage to the blown account, and then you now start looking for stuff. So this whole thing takes time. Hence why it took me almost 3 years, about 3 years, 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So this is why I say it takes this long. However, if you have a very good mentor, like you have Jeffrey here, and you have myself, that is able to compress your learning curve, you understand? Because if you listen to my YouTube channel, I don't beat around the bush. I tell you, this might be obtainable in the books, but it doesn't work
in reality, because I have tried it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So except you have a mentor that has been there, done that, got a t-shirt, that's the only way you can compress it into short. It's something that you need to, it's just like our forefathers, there's those our parents used to say that when an elder will see sitting down, a child can see standing on top of the Burj Khalifa. Yeah. This is what for. So except you can get a mentor or an educational platform that can help you condense it, ladies and gentlemen, it will take you a very long time.
True. Yeah. Amazing. Sure, you guys are getting a crash course of how not to start Forex and how to start it the right way. Okay, so here's another question I want to ask, because people who are really, really concerned. But for internet's sake, I would love to know, like, how much is the biggest amount you think you've traded ever since you've been a Forex trader this 11-year journey?
The highest amount?
The highest.
The capital size?
Capital, yes. Asset under management, AUM.
Oh yeah, $50 million straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah. So I was in Qatar, Doha, in last week in October, November, and obviously I went there for a meeting, and they actually offered me $500 million. Wow. But at the time I was like, I know I'm good, but please don't give me problems.
You don't want to take too much.
What kind of problem that money can give you? Your father, mother,
no one can.
Whole village and community cannot help you solve the problem. So like, you relax. I actually said, I can do 15.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I can do 15.
I think I watched a video you talk about something like that.
I just come back from Doha, like, it was huge. Those guys have money, So it was 15. I said, like, I'm just gonna do 15. I'm like, all right. So I signed the contract for 50 mil, and I actually just finished trading for the year, up about 64%. So I'm done. Yeah. So I'm gonna fly back to Qatar once I get back to Dubai now. Sign released funds, and we should obviously profit sharing from like 50-50. So 50 million.
That's a lot.
No,
and 64% of that, do the math, guys.
Do the math.
Because that's mind blowing.
50% of 50 million is 25M. Split 25M into half, so you're looking at least 20 million.
That's a lot, man. Congratulations on that.
That's a lot, man. Yeah, I'm even thinking of retiring. Like, it was Michael from Infamous was like, don't go anywhere, you crazy. I was like, guys, I'm going though, like this FX game, like I'm but no, I'll be here.
Like on a retail stage, that's a lot of money. Trust me.
Even I know that's crazy. Before I used to do $500,000, $1 million, 1.2, 3 million, 5 million, but that was huge.
Wow.
And honestly, I consider myself very fortunate because I think we took the funding when the market was cooperating. Earlier on last year, the market was just trash, really and truly.
Yeah.
It was. We were making money, but it was a lot more difficult because it's difficult when to trade the market when it's ranging.
That's true. It's
difficult because the market isn't committing to a particular direction.
Goes up, come down.
Exactly, but if it's GBP USD, if the dollar index, everything really depends on the dollar index. If the dollar index is like, oh, it's time to go, best believe, everybody, oh yeah, pack your load, you see the movement, gold, all this process that gold is confused like this, or euro, you will see
this.
Everything will just be happening, all your strategies, so everything really is a function of the dollar index and when the market really is.
Okay, before we delve in right into the chart, talking about how the charts really work, I want us to have a brief introduction about how to secure an investment, because 50 million US, that's no joke. So how can one actually secure such? I just want to just give us, how do you think one can actually secure that? Because I'm sure most people are really interested in that. Even I too, I'm also very interested in that.
Yeah. The truth is, investors are the easiest things to find on earth. Why? Because people have money and they just lazy. They want to make quick money. Everybody wants to put money somewhere.
Correct.
And the money made for them, come back for them, right? And they're looking for people like myself and Jeffrey and yourself if you're a good trader. So the question isn't how do you find an investor. The question is, are you a good forex trader?
Correct.
That's it. Once you're confident in yourself that you can trade, the investors will come flocking. Well, one of the strategies that I use to obviously poach investors is, obviously I have a YouTube channel, so by default, people come flocking in. But just put the word out there. These are my returns. And I want to advise you guys, since we're talking about investors, don't overpromise. I always underpromise. Okay? Like you guys just heard, obviously I secured $15 million. Do you know how much I promised them? I promised them 18% for the year.
Wow.
18%. And they're like, that's high. You see, investors that have a lot of money,
they don't look for get rich quick thing.
No, they know. If you're talking to someone that has $1 million and you tell him I can give you 50% in 1 month or 50% in 2 or 3 months, he's not going to give you the money. So if you want to be talking to sophisticated investors, but before you can get to the stage of sophisticated investors, you're going to be talking to the small time guy, the $10,000. Trust me, see, people are like, you can be talking to someone like, guy, let's buy this or let's do this. You're like, I don't really have money. But the moment you tell them that, look, I'm trading now, I can make, you see $10,000 will come out. Straight up. No way. Like, oh, just give me, say, let me have before you, this guy, you don't even have a car. What do you see? If you see the people that have money, you'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised. So, people around you have the money. All you need to focus on is yourself. You need to ensure that your trading is somewhat consistent. And just calm down. 30% a year is even fine. And that's just 3 winning trades.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 to 1.
Very fantastic. 30% is a low.
We don't 67, but it's about around 68%. That was just 7 winning trades for us.
And one of the reasons why investors want to give you that money, because even if they put that in the bank, they can't get that return.
Yes, the banks are giving, and what we see, showing this video in Nigeria. Banks, not even banks, the highest performing financial benchmark in the country is Treasury bills.
Treasury, yeah.
And that's 9%.
9%.
Annually. So think about it, like you're outperforming, and in the US, banks, in the UK, banks are giving 0.6% interest. 0.6%.
And they're happy with
real
that.
estate gives you 3%. And here I am saying 18%. They're like, are you
for real?
I literally had to, that was too high for them. So that's why I'm advising you guys, don't overpromise, so that you're calm, so that you can set the trades and allow the market to work for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't just do 40% a year. Anybody who is not ready to be patient and is not okay, any investor that doesn't want you or that's not comfortable or wants you to do more than 40%, flee.
Exactly.
Leave them alone.
Now this is to you guys that always promise 50% monthly. You start paying your investor 50%.
Yeah,
I hear exactly run into trouble and he messaged me, Jeff, can you help me out of this? I said, no way, I can't help you out of this thing because this is a lot of problem with the agreement in the first place. How would you be promising 50%, 100%, 30% monthly? Like, where would you find a way to have a balance, relax, want to trade, to want like that would be a lot of too much pressure, psychological problems and all of that. So you guys heard him and don't promise too much. Okay.
No, the big boys don't return that.
Exactly.
Even the investment banks, like we're talking 7% a year, 7% a year investors they'll jump.
They will jump at you, the real investors.
Do this challenge, do 10% a month. I literally put all my students on it, all the FOREX mastery students, I don't know about laptop, but that's by the way. 10% a month challenge.
That's nice.
That's fine. If you can do 10% a month for 6 months, you're ready for an investor.
That's good. I do 7 to 10. That's why I tell them to my own my mentorship. I tell them 7 to 10%. It's just
that's
the same.
Fine. So this way you're not stressed. All you need is one winning trade a month, and you close your computer and go spend time with your family.
Done.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done because the market on money.
Exactly the way it pushes you.
And
most importantly, when you make money.
Come and trade.
And most importantly, when you're making money.
Yeah,
let's the next.
You have to hack the market mentally. It's a mental game. So as long as you can hack the market mentally,